All right, so just get your face close to the mic and say something.
Say something.
Yeah, so this is how good it's going to sound.
That sounds so good. I want one of these.
All right, so check this out.
Let's order it.
Hey friend, episode number 39. This happens to be the third that I recorded in Niceville, Florida several weeks ago. This one's unique because while I was down there planning the next GY6, well, I don't know if it's the next, as of when you're hearing this. At that time, I believe it was the next that was on the calendar, and then we inserted some other ones kind of between. But while I was down there planning the event coming up in Niceville with my friend Mike, we stayed at Jim and Sarah's house. And at some point, I recorded Mike and Jim on the podcast. They regularly podcast with their ministry, Junto Tribe. I'll put a link down to their show in the show notes, and you can see all the incredible things they're doing, along with the whole Junto team. It's a great ministry that I've participated in a couple of times. While we're there, Jim and I were talking and said, hey, let's get the girls on the mic. Let's get Beth and Sarah. And there were really one conversation that I wanted to have with them. And I was willing to let them just take a shot at it with Jim and I not in the room. And then just as we were talking through it, it might have been talking through it while we were making a stuffed crust pizza or, big, thick Chicago style, whatever. Just between all of the stuff of just enjoying this long working, but also leisurely ease weekend, it just kind of came up like, hey, why don't we talk about that as a group on the show? And so I don't really want to set it up more than that, but I think that this is some really good marital advice that you ought to consider. And so let me just let it roll. Hey, I think this is going to be the best out of two. It's going to be a 1-2 pitch, and you can't see it because I took a picture, but I'm in the, what room is this, Jim?
Well, this would be our home office.
This is the home office.
Yeah, the home office.
Okay. In a house that hopefully will be sold by the time that this podcast episode even airs.
From your lips to God's ears, yes.
Yes, okay. And you guys are going to move to?
We're going to the Colorado Springs area, probably Monument, maybe Denver-ish,
Okay.
Yeah.
We're going to come out there and see you guys when you do that. When you fly into Denver, they've got it looks like a demonic horse. I know it's not, but it looks like one of the horses that would be in the apocalypse right there at the airport. So I'm up here with my friend Jim in the office and our friend Sarah. They're married. Beth is in here. You guys say hello to everybody.
Hello, everyone.
I've still not learned how to do the dishes. That goes back to episode number 2.
And I'm trying to be serious over here.
Yeah. I don't think we're going to be serious with... So Jim can be serious. I don't think Sarah and Beth together have the capacity to do it.
Yeah, the Swedish twins in the same room.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work.
Bet.
It's on. We can be serious.
Okay, so I want you guys to tell us first. We're going to come to a serious thing later on. Again, it maybe have to be a 2-parter. But I want you guys, Beth and Sarah, to explain to us what a Swedish twin actually is.
Yeah, I kind of want to hear this too.
And then I'm going to interject at some point because you can push back if you want, but...
Well, I mean, it's so obvious what a Swedish twin is. I don't know. It's just when you're born a year apart in the same month.
Yeah, and your mind is connected, and you could
finish
double
each other's sentences. And
yes,
you have the same slippers.
We have moon stompers that are the same,
and
without moon stomper.
This is probably the biggest determination of being Swedish twins is you don't even have to plan it, and you're basically in the same clothes
all the time,
except right now.
Except because we just changed.
So we were at the what were we at the mall? Like we came down here for an event.
When all this happened?
Yeah, we were at the Destin shopping mall.
Yeah, probably. It
The
was,
outlet.
it was the weekend we introduced the girls to each other.
And they thought that they were Irish twins,
Right.
which is a legitimate thing.
Right.
Are you saying Swedish twins aren't?
Well, I mean, Jim and I were there saying, "Wait,
sure
y'all,
how this
y'all
works.
We were saying y'all aren't Irish twins, like y'all, because Irish twins, you have to be born of the same parents,
True. That's
and
in the
then
definition.
and then it's within 1 year. It's not even the same month. It's like just within 1 year, 12 months, and so."
Well, so why do you get to have Irish twins, but we can't be Swedish
That's
twins?
what I remember saying to Jim. I was like, they're not.
That's how you
even
know
if
they're
they
on the
had-
same level.
Even if they had the same mom, they're not same mom and dad. They're not even Irish twins.
This is the last thing I'll say before we move on. You're the only problem. You're the
We're the only
one.
problem.
You're the only person that has a problem with
That's
us
getting
being
pushback with
Swedish twins. Yeah, everyone else is like, oh my goodness, you get to go see your Swedish twin.
Yes, they get it.
We say
Everybody else
we
just-
say it in public, and people just look at us like,
Oh, yeah,
I
sure.
want a Swedish twin.
So do you know how I know it's true?
How
They're both looking at you right now with the same scowl.
like I'm an absolute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's got to be a thing.
Okay. Hey, so let me tell you something else that I think you guys agree on the same page about. Do you guys want to talk about great marital advice before we talk about the other stuff, or do you guys want to do that without me and Jim in the room?
Why do I feel like that's a
It's not a setup.
trick question?
Kind of feels like it is.
Okay, so you go out on a date. Let's just go roll into it. You go out on this date, and if you're married, like there's all this pressure because the girl wants one thing. Well, I wouldn't say one thing. She wants emotional connection and relational connection.
Well, I mean, I kind of want that too, but
Yeah, sure.
maybe it looks different for men than it does for women. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe it's not to the same degree, but the guy wants one thing primarily.
I would say maybe not primarily, but we're definitely more in tune with that one thing that you're referring to.
Yeah, so let's just say what it is. So if you if the guys generally are wanting sex, the females want it, but like it's just it's maybe just, our drives are a little bit different.
Sure.
Right.
Girls, feel free to pipe in here. I feel like I'm defending you right now.
We're setting them
I'm the
up.
only
No,
one,
I
but
don't feel like you need to defend us, but I want to hear.
Who
what
are
he
you
has to
throwing this
say.
question to?
I'm about to throw it
First of
to
all.
you. I'm about to throw it to the gals.
Okay.
I remember going to some of these men's events that I was co-leading years ago, and there'd be guys that would talk just with open mic, and they'd be asking for advice and say, "Hey, we haven't been intimate in a year," and I thought, I don't think that's what either person would have chosen. I just don't. And then there would be some guys that would say like, "Hey, we've gotten on this pace," that they're happy about it. Like it was like the first weekend of the month. Like it was just one time a month. And they were content with that degree of physical intimacy. But we walked in the other day and you had an insight, Sarah. Sarah's a counselor. That means
I wish everyone could see your face right now.
that means
She is.
that means that you should know what you're talking about because we trust that you do.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, I try.
I do.
I try to be well informed.
Yeah, I think
Okay.
you know what you're talking about. Well, you had this idea. I mean, you're going to have to G-rate it.
Ah, that idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, actually, it was from a podcast that we listened to, that Jim listened to, and then shot it over to me, and I listened to the excerpt.
That was a good move, Jim.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks, man. So between the two of us, my wife is the expert, so I got to run things by her. Yeah.
But no, it's a fantastic idea, and I don't even remember the lady's name who said it. So this is not our idea. I need people to understand that. But we're totally accepting this idea and running with it. But the idea is let's see, it's PG. So the idea is that we have fun first, meaning we have sex before we go out on a date. Because the concept is that, yes, both men and women typically are wanting sex. I mean, sex feels When it feels good, it feels good. We're wanting that. But nobody wants that when you've just gone out to this wonderful meal. You've gotten all dressed up. Now your clothes are uncomfortable. You're bloated. You're tired. Maybe you've had a drink. Maybe you haven't had a drink. And you're just like, ugh, the last thing I want to do is be touched or touch somebody else. And so have sex first. Now it takes all the pressure off and you can go out on your date and it's like, you are free to do whatever. And you're goofy and
you're already connected.
Have the cake.
That's true.
Yes. You can, have the dessert, have the coffee, have the wine, all of the things. And you don't feel like what did you call it? A bloated walrus when you get home.
I'm not so sure guys care as much about being the bloated walrus or whatever, but
Girls care.
girls care.
Girls care.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think too, like we're looking for quality here, right? So, and my wife she is a trooper. And if that's the scenario where we've gone out and one or both of us is ready, like she wants to serve me and she'll make it happen if that needs to be the case. But what we're looking at for is quality.
Yes.
And so you got to stack the deck in your favor and schedule that part of your relationship when you can provide quality.
Right. And by quality, I mean, a caveat to the quality is if we are having fun first, everybody's having fun first.
Thanks for that.
Absolutely everyone.
I don't know what you meant by that. So you're going to have to.
I can totally break that down for
Yeah,
you
go ahead
if
and
you would
break
like
that
Yeah,
down.
I think you should.
Give us
honestly,
a whole
yeah.
framework.
Okay, the whole framework
go ahead
means
explain
if
it like
we're-
I'm an. I was going to say explain it like I'm 5. No, don't do that.
don't do that.
Explain it like I'm
A newlywed.
Like you're a
Yeah,
newlywed.
Yeah.
Like a newlywed. That means that you guys are both climaxing or having orgasm. That type of sex. Both of them. Both of you. I mean, statistics show that it's kind of a 2-to-1 ratio. There is a huge orgasm gap between men and women.
I would have thought it would have been bigger than that.
95 to 48. 95% men, 48% women.
And it's harder for women to.
It's not harder, it takes longer.
There you go. Okay.
It's not harder, it takes longer. Because biology, we're different. We are different. And so, and it's not always, the act of sex is not always going to be the thing that makes women climax. And so there's way more into it. Whereas for the men, and please jump in here, that 95% is pretty much guaranteed if you have sex, they're going to orgasm.
Yeah, and let's be clear. When you say that, you use the word sex, but intercourse.
Yes.
The percentage of women that have an orgasm as a result of intercourse is very different than it is for men. Whereas, man, you could just look at me sideways and I'm about there.
Right.
Right.
That's true. I'm going to have to put blinders on right now.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
We could finish the podcast. You
We
guys
can
could.
leave the room
That's
if
true.
you need us
I mean,
to.
my wife's looking pretty cute sitting across the table. But no, that I think that's what you're getting at. And what we've found in our life is we have energy early in the day. We have energy at the beginning of the date. But as I get older, that gets harder and harder as the day goes on. And so if you pile on, my wife gets all gussied up and she's looking nice and she smells good because she's got perfume on. It doesn't actually work for me because I'm allergic, but that's
Side
what
note.
most
Showered.
people say.
Showered.
So then you step out the door to go have this wonderful evening, and there is an expectation. With that expectation comes a lot of pressure too, right? So if we get back and one or both of us is tired, and let's be honest, sweetheart, more than often it's both of us are tired after a long day and a long date.
Yes.
Because it's also part of a long week with lots
Right.
of other responsibilities.
Because when do you go on
Absolutely.
dates? Friday
Yeah.
night, something like that. So when you get back, there's all this pressure. And so what we do is we grin and bear it, and we do what we set out to do, and it's not quality. It's not good. So we miss the connection.
it's still fun. It's just not as fun as it could be.
It could have been,
Yeah.
right? So if what you're after in your intimate relationship with your spouse is connection, we found the best time to do it is earlier.
Yeah.
And now that that's accomplished, we're already connected, like you mentioned earlier. Now the date also is better, right? So I
We're
don't know.
we're more laughy or giggly or whatever. We're more flirtatious really throughout the date because now there's no pressure.
You've already connected
We've already
on
connected,
a different level.
and now it's just a little euphoria still lingering.
And then you can go back for seconds if you want.
You
Totally
can.
could.
That's never off the table.
But it's not like a
It's not a requirement.
It's not a pressure. a pressure point.
Okay, so what answer this. What do you say about people who go, well, you're scheduling the sex?
Yeah, and
Yeah. I mean, I don't see anything wrong with it. I
so look,
schedule everything else.
this doesn't have to be universal, okay?
And it doesn't have to be every time.
It doesn't have to be every time. And don't get me wrong, too, Andy. There's still plenty of times in Sarah's and my life that we have spontaneous sex. That's really good too. But I want to stack the deck in my favor, and in our favor. And I understand that. That
deck's
sex,
already in your favor. 95%.
Yeah, that's true. well, kinda. It's my job to perform so that my wife does have an orgasm.
Oh yeah, that's true.
And that's a lot of pressure on a man too.
There's a Jewish rabbinical statement that says that it is the guy's job to make sure that happens.
Well, I mean, 1 Corinthians 7 says that.
Well, it says don't withhold your...
Yeah, but the verse before, in verse 3, it says, husbands, perform your marital duty to your wife, just as wife, you perform the marital duty to your husband. So both are in charge of performing that marital duty.
To get it all the way.
Uh-huh.
Oh, look at Beth. Beth's like...
You are welcome.
Beth's wanting to go.
She's like, this is why we're Swedish twins. She's got her wing woman here.
My wing woman.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But guys, like that is a pressure that we carry too, and it shouldn't be. Like, you should just want to, and it might be a bit of a task at first, but we should be doing everything we can in order to satisfy that part of the scripture. Right?
Yes.
I have found that that's way easier when my wife is not bloated from a meal and tired from the week.
And feeling self-conscious.
Feeling self-conscious about it. So that's what I mean by stack the deck in my favor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that.
Okay, Beth, what you got to say?
I'm just listening at this point. Taking it all in.
Taking it in.
She's glad this is being recorded so you can listen to it later, I guess.
No, I mean, I'm on board with trying new things, but I'm not. I don't know that I've ever had the thought of like, oh, I feel bloated. I don't want to. I'm sitting over here doing a heart check, a head check. I am talking out loud right now.
You know what, though? I have found when we're together, you are a very disciplined eater.
What?
Yeah. I mean, you did just eat an Oreo, but two. Ooh, good for you. You are a very disciplined. You are very health conscious, and so I can't imagine you eating till like allowing the gluttony piece to come into play because you don't.
Well, let me ask him that. Would you agree with that statement?
Which statement? That you're a disciplined eater?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, I mean, I've not thought about it to judge you on, and I don't mean judge in a judgmental standpoint, but just to even think, oh, is she?
Maybe discipline's not the right word. Maybe the word is you're very in tune with your body.
Yeah, I am.
And
very
so
in tune with my body.
You very well know what makes you feel good and what doesn't make you feel good, and so you're making decisions on that all day long. Whereas me, I'm like, I mean, that's gonna hurt my stomach, but I'm still gonna have that ice cream. Like, it's not.
I definitely have that conversation with myself. No,
so maybe that's part of it.
No, I do feel bad a lot based on things that we go out and eat, but it's just that I came from a marriage that was very dysfunctional sexually, and I've had to really fight to get that piece of me back. And I think I've just made peace with all the other things that I had to go about it in a different way to get to the place where I knew when I got remarried, or if I got remarried, which obviously I did, that was going to be the most important part of our relationship. And so I had like 15 years of recovery from that before I met him and got married to him. And it was just being bloated or anything like that. Like, that was so far down on the list because
that is a non-issue for you.
It was just, it's just, and that's why I was so quiet, because I was thinking, is it because of something that I'm doing that's preventing that? No, because I feel bloated all the time. check. But yeah, no, that is not something I'm going to let stop me at this point, because I've really had to fight.
What do you think of this concept? Because somebody asked the question, do you schedule it? So the scheduling piece, I know that is a hang up for some people, but what about the deliberate act of having a plan for your intimate life with your partner so that you can actually talk through the things that you like and dislike and things that work and don't work? I think that's what this little technique that Sarah and I have come up with has done for us. It's opened up doors for us to communicate about that part of our lives. What do y'all think about that?
Well, Do you want to talk that, or you want me to take that
I
first?
would love to hear what you have to say. I know what I'm going to say.
Okay. Yeah. Well, so early, and Sarah knows what you're going to say because you're Swedish twins.
Yeah,
Early
she can remember
on,
this one.
I mean, that was so back up. Early on, one of the things she said was, "Hey, I think like a wife should just give her husband 30 minutes to just unhindered explore her body and try to figure it out." And nobody does that. Mm-hmm. And that led to other conversations of, I mean, obviously with some hurt there in the past, we've had to talk about, a lot of things, which is enhanced and made stuff better. It didn't make it awkward. I mean, in the moment, there might be some conversations that are like, oh, I didn't know that. Hey, but it's like, you hear people go, oh, I have zero complaints. Like, I really don't, like it's, very enjoyable, exciting.
But it sounds like you've had the discussion.
Well, and we still do.
Yeah, I think that's what's missing in a lot of marriages.
It's not like it's, okay, we talked about that, like that's done.
I think our culture and Christian culture breeds it. It's like, this is taboo. We don't discuss it. It does happen. We do it, but actually talking about it and confronting it face to face, that's hard. So we're just not going to do it.
Yeah.
And I think every couple needs a strategy they need to be open to talking about it, which it sounds like you guys are doing.
Well, I don't know if we have a strategy, but I do know we were talking on the couch the other day, and, she said something to the effect of like, hey, it might be helpful. Like sometimes, like if you really, I was going to say need it, but that sounds kind of crass. It didn't in the conversation we were having. Hey, it'd be great. Like if you could just text me or tell me earlier in the day. But like she's conversely said the same thing, like in the other direction. Like, so, in the same way the male could claim conjugal rights, so could the female.
Well, I don't know. It's just communication. It's giving people a heads up on where your head's at.
But doesn't that also kind of fall under the line of scheduling it? Like, hey, I'm thinking about this. I'd like to put it on the docket for tonight.
Yeah,
somehow.
let's slide this in instead of Netflix.
Right. Which, from my point of view as a woman, I don't speak for all women, but I do know that there's more of me out there. That gives me a moment to wrap my brain around it all day, and to like, if I wasn't initially in the mood, to get excited about it.
Yeah. And
by the time the evening comes, now I am in the mood, right? Because that idea was just dropped in the morning.
That makes sense, because like it may be coming anyway, but instead of it coming by surprise, now it's coming with some intention.
Well, again, backing it up, it's not that it's harder for women to climax; it just takes longer, and that is part of the build-up to it. And
guys aren't taught that. Like I don't think.
No, definitely not.
Like nobody's having nobody that I know of. And then Beth, like you still got to say something. Nobody that I know of in like kind of Christian space is saying, "Hey guys, here's some things you could do. Like this would be helpful." Like we teach each other how to shoot guns. We teach each other how to lift weights. Mm-hmm. We teach each other how to run faster, just fill in all the blanks. But in that space, there's not, that I know of, guys that are saying, hey, did you know,
mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's because we have a hard time talking about it. What were your original thoughts though, Beth?
Yeah, go for it.
They may not know to tell you that they
mm-hmm.
know. My husband schedules everything. He's got a calendar. He literally writes down everything. If you're not in that book, you don't. I mean, I often say that I could walk through the house on fire and naked, and he would not even notice.
No. But in fairness,
probably write that in at 1 o'clock.
To me, I said, try it.
Okay.
You don't even have to set yourself on fire. Just
yeah. So
nice.
Just do the other half.
I like it. Yeah.
I'm not exaggerating, and at first it would upset me because I was like, oh my goodness, like I can't get his attention for anything. And it would, why don't we just schedule sex? Because he seems like he could just go on forever and ever and ever without it, which it's usually the opposite.
I don't.
There's been seasons where it's just like, I'm like, hello, Are you there?
Can I pencil myself into 1 o'clock, please?
Can I?
Hey,
Can I
you know
take
what
the
though?
1 o'clock spot?
I'm glad you said that
I
because
would like to write myself down on your calendar and color code it.
No, I want
there's
permanent
an
marker.
there's an important point here that is a reality. Okay, we society has led us to believe that men need it more than women. Period. At the end. And there are seasons in a relationship where that's true and seasons when it's not. All right. So
Yeah, I can look at those and go, I was head down in a project.
100%.
Yeah.
Or I've got really stressful stuff going on right now. So my libido is super low. And when my wife's is higher, that's a reality, guys.
And God probably made it that way. I mean,
Yes.
like to where
Yes. That's an awesome point, Beth. That's just true. And if
Well-
you're a dude and you're ashamed of that, don't be, because it happens to all of us. So
Yeah, I certainly wasn't meaning to embarrass you on any
it
level.
wasn't taken. I could just edit
But-
it out if it's embarrassing.
But at the same time, you pulled us in here and started this conversation with no prep. So
Yep.
I will say, we've been married, like almost 6 years. So it's not a terribly long time, but we both came from other marriages. So we both had, our own little
Filter.
grid of what that was supposed to be like. And I don't know what went on with his marriage, and he doesn't know all the things that went on in my marriage, but I know when we came together that there were some degree of dysfunction in both of them. It didn't matter what it was. And then we came to visit you guys sometime, how long ago was that? Like 2 years ago or whatever, or maybe 1, I don't know. And we had already worked through a lot of things. So it wasn't just this amazing sex from day one. I was just glad that he was willing to have sex with me and there wasn't these signs of like major dysfunction, So I was like, okay, we're good. And I remember one conversation that we had before we got married, and I was like, I need you to check off this list of things that you're not going to ever do. And he was like, I can't do that because, do you remember that?
I don't remember this. This
And
would be
I
good.
think it had to do with pornography. And he was like, I'm not telling you that I'm going to go watch it. I'm just saying, you can't tell me that you're going to leave me if I do. Like, you would walk that out with me if I fell into that. And so I don't remember the exact
Yeah, I was
conversation.
going to say I don't remember that conversation.
I
but
remember it vividly
keep on.
because I remember saying to him, like, I'm not going through that again. And he was like, oh, you can't say that. Like, you can say that, but let's get down to the heart of what you really mean, because when we get married, like, you walk things out, I was like, okay, yeah, that's fair. But it took us a lot of time.
Yeah, because I wasn't trying to give myself a hall pass to go like.
no.
No,
Yeah,
it wasn't
okay,
like that
yeah,
at all.
All right,
It
I
was
was trying to.
And so let me back up, because this is something I feel like is on my heart. Like, he gave me room to heal things I didn't even know that I needed healing from. And so it wasn't like, oh, I've got this big bag of stuff and here it is on either side. So it was like, you created space for me to unpack some things that I didn't even know needed unpacking. And I think in the process of that, he was able to see some of the things that for 17 years he was married to the same person. And when you are married for 17 years and you do something habitually, you don't even know that it's dysfunctional until you're in a new situation and you're like, wait, what was that? You know what I mean? And so we went through a lot of that.
Yeah.
It wasn't just like amazing sex all of a sudden. I mean, it really is now. and I'm so glad that we worked through it.
Well, it was, I mean, honestly, like on day one, it was phenomenal.
For him.
And it got better as it got better for.
I mean, I'm not going to toot my own horn. No, I'm just kidding.
No, you can.
It wasn't about that. It wasn't about his ability or my ability. It was about the barriers that we had to get through to be able to be real with each other, just like you said, and have quality, intimate sex. And, it took some time for us, but here's the point I'm trying to make. We came to visit you, and you guys recommended a book for us.
Yep.
And I thought, oh, okay, I love to read. I'll get this book. I ordered it while we were still here. It was at our door when we got back there.
Which book?
The 31 Days to Sex, or to Great Sex.
Yeah, I thought
The
it
Great
was.
Sex Rescue.
No, it was 31 Days to Great Sex. And I thought, when I picked it up, I was like, oh, great. 31 Days of Great Sex.
Oh.
I was like, But it was to great. Like, so it was an invitation to walk out a process of learning, not just an invitation to, oh, hey, you got it. No, figure it out.
It was like a companion book to the one that you had said, because I ordered it as well. But here's the point. you recommended this book. I trust you because you're my Swedish twin. And I kind of flipped through it. I read through it. But we never opened it together. It sat on our desk and we looked at it, the cover, but we never opened it. But I flipped through it enough for it to open me up to talk to him. And so that was really the turning point where we started having different conversations. And, so I never read all of the book. We didn't read it together.
Yeah, we didn't read it together.
We
I've
didn't
been
do
through the
our
book.
homework. And, there's that. And my point is, some people need to read a book with other people. Some people just need to buy it and look at the cover of it and make a joke about it and open the conversation up.
Right. And that almost like it gave you guys permission to have the conversation with each other. Just having that book there.
Well, you guys like normalizing the conversation gave me the courage. It gave me even, it sounds so crazy that you don't talk to each other.
You don't talk about one of the most intimate things that you do together.
And the most
literally,
important.
with nothing on, you'll get naked with somebody else and have body parts from one inside of the other, but then not talk about it.
Right.
I mean, you think about...
Yeah, we always say if you can't talk about it, you probably shouldn't be doing it. Right. That's one of our mottos.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well, and for me, I didn't know what to talk about. I just
Right.
knew that there was stuff there that was not right.
Yeah.
So it created the space, and you guys had something to do with that because I ordered the book. But awesome. I mean,
Glad we could help.
And I've thought about that several times because someone listening to this hopefully will it's not this big checklist of things that you need to do or not do. It's just the willingness to try. Oh, maybe if we're too tired and we find ourselves going out a lot, but we're not having sex, maybe we try it on the front end. Just that willingness. And I think that that's what I learned from that it's the willingness. And then you never really know what's going to come out, when you just show up willing to communicate about it.
Right.
I think objective is really important in your life of intimacy with your spouse too. So somebody gave the example of sending a text earlier to try and help give your partner a heads up that you're looking for something later.
Sure.
Your objective needs to change. Your perspective definitely needs to change a little bit if you're going to do something like that. If I send you a text that says I need fill in the blank later, that's very different than me sending something that says I want to serve you in a way.
Yeah.
Later, right? So in order to have good sex in your marriage, you have to put the other person's needs as your main objective.
Yes.
And if both people are doing that, then everybody's needs get met and you don't need to worry about it.
Right.
Right? I think where we fall short, especially in Christian walk, is you'll hear things like the man needs sex every 3 days and the man's drive is so hard if you don't or is so high if you don't give it to him, he'll go look for it elsewhere. And that's not what a healthy sexual relationship looks like with your partner. Not even close.
And it puts an unfair pressure on the female
100%.
as well.
Well, it puts their sexual health, wellness, holiness on. It
eliminates it.
The man's sexual health and holiness on as a woman's responsibility,
Or maybe
and that's
not
not
as,
okay.
Maybe not even as health and holiness. I mean, I see what you're saying.
Yeah, that's not good, guys. That's not good. We have I hate to toot the horn and sound the rallying cry, but we have a job to do with our partner, and the statistics would show that we as men are not meeting the need.
Well, and I think, and we talked about this a little bit before too, to your point, Beth, I don't think the need is being met because we're not talking about it. Men aren't talking about it together. Women aren't talking about it. We certainly aren't. Well, I mean, like we are now, but my mom still has yet to give me the sex talk. And I'm almost 50 years old.
Right? It would be weird now, by the way.
It would be weird now. It would be totally weird now. Right. But like, that's just not something you talk about. Growing up in Christian society, in this huge purity culture, it was gross, that's nasty. Don't talk about that.
But then you expect the woman to be incredible at it on
but
day
then
one.
Flip the switch,
having no talk about it.
It's a total mind. I can't say that word. It's a total.
It would kind of fit.
It's a mind flip. Yep, it would fit. It's a mind, right. And it's just, we can't downshift that fast. Nobody can. And so women need to be talking about it with other women. Men need to be talking about it with other men. We as couples absolutely need to be talking about it, because the reality is someone's talking about it. So we in Christian circles should be the ones who are talking about it the loudest, because we're going to get information from somewhere. It might as well be from how God designed it.
Yeah, and God created it. This wasn't like the
Yes.
devil's toy. It was like, oh, I mean, can you imagine God creates Adam and Eve back in the Garden of Eden and puts them there. It's all very good. He's naked. She's naked. I don't imagine that he walks up on them and is like, oh my gosh, like, what are you guys doing? Like, you put, like, he designed it, and he designed it in such a way to where, you know, I believe that humans are the only mammals that when they're together, it's face to face, you know, in one of the multiple options that you have, but it's like to where you're literally.
It's because it's about connection.
Yeah. I mean, right
not
there,
just
like
about-
when we're together, it's like, I'm right there, you know, sometimes touching her face that close. And that's part of the design.
Sarah, can you tell the gatekeeping story without betraying any names or
Yes.
confidences? Yeah.
Sure. So I had a group of girls give me a call once. College age girls give me a call because Jim and I are very open to talk about this, and we're not like.
Well, you guys have a marriage ministry.
Yes.
I forgot to tell everybody that, but
Yes, we are not, you know, speaking of it inappropriately, I don't think. But anyways, I had a group of girls call me, college age girls, and one of them was about to get married. And they were like, they had no idea, like, just, Miss Sarah, please just run me through the logistics of what's about to happen. Right? Like, they had no idea how, like, any of this was about to play out once the wedding night came. And so one of them was getting married, but like all 5 of them were on the conference call. And like, I'm just going over logistics.
is this like a Zoom?
No, I was in the car.
Okay.
And so it's just, I put them on speaker,
Okay.
and they had me on speaker. And they were all they all had questions like, okay, well, what's this? What's this? Well, how? And literally step by step, I went through the logistics of, here are some great ways to set yourself up for success, you know? But all of them were like, my mom didn't talk about this with me. Like, I have no idea. And I hadn't had that like detailed of a conversation with my girls yet, because they weren't at that stage. Like, I'm not going to light a fire with them with nothing for them to do with it, you know? But we have always been very open about sex in our house. And so we had this logistics conversation. And at the end, one of them was like, why are we gatekeeping this information? Like, why is it that at 22 years old, like, we have never been told this information? Why do women do this? And everyone is just dumbfounded as to why this is something that nobody talks about.
Yeah. Where's the club, and why is anybody making me struggle with this?
Right. And why have I been like anxious and nervous about this? Like, if I would have just known the logistics of how we do this, it would have been fine.
Wow. That's
Hey, we got to sign off. Who wants to close it?
Well, I'll just say dudes don't do this either, by the way.
Yeah, you need to go find a guy that knows what he's doing and talk to him.
100%. Somebody that's open to talking about it. And I would just say, it's not all about you, bro. Just remember that. And if you can do that, if you can actually look at sex from that perspective, that your job is to serve your partner, it's actually better for you. So that's a symptom, but it shouldn't be your objective. Okay?
Do you have a resources link?
A resources link. Yeah, if you look down in the show notes, way there at the bottom of this.
Okay.
I just dropped my phone.
We'll put some resources in there.
Yeah, we'll put some links in there. You guys have a website up yet?
No, not quite. We're getting there.
You've been working on that for like, a year?
Thanks
Something
for
like
shaming
that?
us on that
thanks
one.
for
Noah.
shaming us. Way to go.
Well,
as our website mentor.
I'll edit that out.
We'll get there.
Hey, this is how I always sign off, because you guys have your tagline with Junto on yours, but I always just pray people off and tell them, my prayers, the Lord bless you, keep you, be gracious, shine favor on you, and may you have just this ease to just talk to your partner, your spouse, find a good friend, talk to them. Let your spouse, partner, find another trusted friend. Talk with them and just learn and figure it out. You see? Okay, so now you see it. You get it. Like, why would you invite the gals in? That's it. Sometimes the awkward conversations or the things that would seemingly be like, man, can you really do that or talk about it? You get it in there and you find out that everybody seemingly wants the same thing. Everybody is on the same page. Maybe a different place on the page, but they just didn't know. I did want to come back at the end, direct you to the show notes, just to let you know that if you'll take a look, there is a book that I wrote several years ago. The name of it is Stronger, Stronger, Stronger. Here's what it came from. I had a pastor that reached out that wanted me to go speak to his church and specifically address the men about spiritual leadership. And so I started going back through my notes and messages that I had, given before, and praying and reading, so looking back, but also living present. What is God saying about this now? And I came up with way more that I wanted to share with the men than I actually had time for. I had several moments I was going to be speaking to the whole church, but then there were 2 specific slots when I was going to be addressing just the men. Problem was, I had what would have amounted to 7 or 8 talks, and so I couldn't really decide what do I eliminate. And so the option that I came up with was, why don't I recycle all of these notes, and why don't I do something with everything that I'm studying in the moment, and really lean in and see what God wants me to teach to these men right now, but then also provide them with everything, with the, I guess the statement would be, the whole enchilada. And so the result of that was a couple talks that I gave them, but then also this book. It's about 160 pages that really shows men how to lead strong, but love even stronger. As a man, you have a unique role. The woman has a unique role as well. And so often we've just kind of conflated those and just assumed like we're both doing the same thing. And it was never really designed to be that way. The strength of it all and the beauty of it is that we were created intentionally by God to be different and to complement and to enhance and to elevate each other. And the thing that a strong woman needs is a strong man. And the thing that a strong man needs is a strong woman. And those two are not at odds. Now, for sure, every couple, even every church or religious organization is going to maybe live that out a little differently. And there's, I think, some flexibility in how you do that biblically. But you got to start. You got to start somewhere. And so I put together that book. There's a link down there below where you can buy the book. I think it's a great resource to lead groups of men through. It's just 10 chapters, and there's follow-up questions at the end of each chapter. So you can read it, dialogue about it, discuss it, apply it, learn it, and live it out. There's also, if you say, well, I just kind of want to maybe kick the tires and see what it is, there's a link down there to the free audio as well. And so just go grab the audio, listen and see what you think, and see how maybe that applies to you. All right. I'll be back in another week with some more pivot back to a different topic. Thanks for joining me. I'll talk to you soon.